Good early afternoon. We are live, and we're live everywhere. You know, it's Thursday, and so usually we only do wisdomharbor.com. Okay, but Dina Kilpatrick, you already figured it out, and you already shared to all platforms. You know, we're going through a transition with our texting company with Wisdom Harbor, where the text that you get on your membership. And so today, since we couldn't text you, we're just including everybody. So Facebook, LinkedIn, all over. So good morning, Andy and crew. We're having a thunderstorm today. Who said that? I couldn't say. Oh, Marcy Taylor. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, Apprise Video Productions, wearing your new necktie on LinkedIn. I always tell the LinkedIn people, you know, we're glad you're with us, but take off your necktie. You know, take off, come on, take your jacket off. You don't need to wear a suit to watch us. We're the Blue Plate Special. I'm Andy Andrews. We're broadcasting from beautiful downtown Orange Beach, Alabama. We're in the financial district. We're, I think, the highest building around, so we're on the second floor here. We're glad that you're with us. We're gonna do a pretty adventurous show today. I told SB back in the back. I said, "Hey, make sure you watch the Blue Plate today. It's going to be a good one." And so as happens many times, research pushes these shows. So I read a lot of good stuff. I read some stupid stuff, you know, that I get on before I realize it's stupid. But everything points somewhere else. Valerie Anderson, glad you're here. Pam McKeithen, we're glad you're here. I look at, I have always felt that the quality of our answers can be determined by the quality of our questions. So if you're ever working with Google or, you know, wanting to find out something, ask a good question. Just figure out, you know, it's not the answers it's not the answers that you know that you are looking for that will move you ahead in life. It's the answers that you don't really know you need to look for. You don't even know you need to even go down that rabbit hole. And yet, if you do, many times we learn things that, I don't know, some of them are valuable, some of them are just interesting. And today I think we're probably on the 30 percentile of valuable and the 70 percentile of interesting. This is really interesting to me. The question that I put to Google, and then I ended up having to go around and individually search this stuff. But the thing is, I put 10 crazy things people believe but absolutely should not. What is it that people are believing that we go, seriously? You believe that? So I'm just curious, because some of these things, like the earth is flat, I mean, some of these things persist like glitter on a carpet, or they persist like cat hair on an old sweater, or a forwarded email from some anonymous person writing something crazy about the political party you oppose. You know, some of these things just never go away. It seems like. Kevin Perkins, how you doing? And so we're going to do 10 of these, and I have actually researched to find out what percentage of people believe this stuff. And I've also accumulated some facts about why they shouldn't believe it, or why we believe opposite if we do. I mean, I don't know. I may be broadcasting to a bunch of people that go, yeah, the earth is flat. What are you talking about? But that's number one, okay? That's number one on the list. The earth is flat. So the claim is the earth is really a pancake. Now, the belief rate is an astonishing 2% to me. 2%. So, Matthew, if there are, do the math for me, there's just under 400 million people in America. What is 2% of 400 million? I should be able to do that in my head, but I'm not going to make myself do it because I got Matthew.
Well, let's see. If I didn't put too many zeros, I think it would be around 80,000 or 800,000.
Well, figure it out.
800,000.
800,000? So 800,000 people in America still believe the earth is flat. Now we got people in the studio audience that they're going, no, that.
Sorry, 8 million. I did miss a zero.
It's 8 million? 8 million? You did miss a zero, but to the other way. 8 million people in America believe the earth is flat. 8 million. All right, keep that calculator handy, both of you guys. All right, because I'm going to find out some other stuff. But this is 8 million people plus an entire subculture on YouTube with surprisingly confident diagrams that they use. But the truth is that planes exist, satellites exist, ships disappear over the horizon. You can see Earth's curve from a high altitude balloon. But there are flat Earth conferences of flat Earth people that now sell globes of the Earth as flat. So irony is alive and well. There you go. All right, number 2. Now, this may get somebody, but here we go. This is just what computer pitched out. Vaccines cause autism. Okay, so the claim is one shot and boom, autism. That's the claim. The belief rate is 15%. Okay, that's 15%. So what's 15% of 400 million?
I believe it would be 60 million.
Okay, 60 million. Okay, got an agreement on 60 million? Yeah. So 60 million people believe this. So this is an especially strong belief among people who have done their own research on Facebook. So, because here's the thing. Over a dozen massive studies say otherwise. And the original paper was retracted. The original paper was fraudulent, and the author of the original paper lost his license. And yet that is, because believing this has led to actual disease outbreaks. So it's not harmless, because they specifically say the MMR, the mumps, measles, and rubella vaccine is the one that causes causes autism. And of course, if you think that, and you're not going to vaccinate the children, and how many people? 60 million? 60 million. Well, and now we've got measles coming everywhere. So, good evening from Egypt, from Anki. So we're glad you're here with us. I wonder if you believe the earth is flat, Anki. So we've already talked about that. So if you're going to be offended by that, by the way, if you're going to be offended by any of these, you can leave. That's fine. Number 3, the moon landing was faked. And the claim was, we never went. Stanley Kubrick filmed it on a soundstage. But the belief rate for that is 6% in the United States, 6%, and up to 20% around the world. Okay, tell me, what is 20% of 8 billion? Come on, Matt. This guy's out here, he's got you licked. I just can't hear him.
20% of 8 billion would that be 1.6 billion?
Yes, 1.6 billion. 1.6 billion people, and 1.6 billion is a number that has been calculated and verified. 1.6 billion people believe the moon landing was faked. Okay, so the truth is that for the moon landing, there were 400,000 engineers, scientists, and technicians that made that happen. And you get 400,000 people together, they can't agree on what pizza to order, much less keep a secret this big. You know, come on. Did you ever see the movie? There was a movie years and years and years ago, Capricorn 1, and it was about faking the moon landing. That it was about making the moon landing on a stage, and do you know who starred in that movie? O.J. Simpson. Yes, sir. Who later went to the moon in a white Bronco. Angela Knapp says, you gotta love a good conspiracy theory. Yeah, I guess. You know, they are entertaining, but we'll talk about that a little bit. Number 4, COVID-19 was a hoax. The whole thing. Not that you didn't need masks or you did need masks, or it made me sicker when I got the vaccine, or I didn't need the vaccine. The claim is the pandemic was a plandemic, okay? It was a hoax. Now, the belief rate on this still is wobbling. But at one point or another, 30% of people believed this. 30% entertained this theory at some point. But the truth is, you know, 1 million deaths, you know, hospitals stressed beyond capacity, daily Zoom calls, all that kind of says otherwise. You know, and I kind of think if it was a hoax, it was the greatest, most committed acting job by our nation's doctors that anybody's ever seen in history. It was just unbelievable. All right, so how about number 5? Dinosaurs never existed. Now, I've heard this before. Dinosaurs never existed. And the claim is that the fossils were planted maybe by scientists or maybe by Satan. Maybe Satan planted the fossils. Okay, before I tell you what the percent, before I announce the percentage rate, you guys figure out quickly what is 20% of 400 million?
80 million.
We already did that, didn't we?
Wait, what is what percent?
So 20% is 80 million?
Yeah.
80 million people in America believe that dinosaurs never existed. Now, this is according to their interpretation of science or of their religion, but 80 million people believe, and it is a regional belief. Okay, there are regions of America that believe this more than other regions, and sorry to say, we're sitting slap dap in one of those regions. Roll Tide anyway. The truth is that, fossils are real. I mean, bones don't show up in rock layers that are millions of years old by accident. I mean, even if you believe the Earth is only 6,000 years old, bones don't show up in 6,000-year-old rocks by accident. And Jurassic Park was not a documentary. Sorry. How about number 6? This one just kills. I didn't even know this was a thing. I've heard all the others, okay? But I didn't even know this was a thing. This is going to just knock you down. Birds aren't real. I'd never even heard of this. Have you heard of that? You heard of this? You have? Oh my God. The claim is that birds were replaced by government drones in the 1970s. The belief rate of that is 1 to 2% and growing. What's 1.5% of 400 million? 1.5 400 million, quick.
I think it'd be 6 million.
6 million? Do I have a confirmation on that? Confirmation. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like the Blue Plate Special to be the initial announcement. How many million? 6 million. I have a hard time even saying this. 6 million people. Your neighbors. The people you go to church with. More likely the people you do meth with, if you do that. But 6 million people believe that birds are not real. Now, this started as some kind of a satire, I think, that was put out naturally on social media. But now people actually believe it. And why do they believe it? Because memes are powerful and reality is optional in our culture today. Kevin Perkins says drone season is coming up. Oh, that's great. Yep, dove season is coming up. All right, number 7. Now this goes from funny, nuts, to tragic. Number 7 is the Holocaust didn't happen. The claim is that 6 million Jews were not murdered systematically in World War II. The belief rate is 9% globally. And it's disturbingly higher among some youth populations due to online misinformation. So what's 9% of 8 billion? 9% of 8 billion. I can't really see that. Hang on just a second. It's Matt. 720 million? Oh my God. 720 million people believe the Holocaust never happened? I mean, come on. The Holocaust is one of the most thoroughly documented atrocities in human history. There are photos, testimonies, Nazi records, and surviving camp architecture. Denying this isn't just false. I'll go evil on that. I think denying this is morally bankrupt. But you know, believing this, I think believing this somehow makes people. I don't know. You ever caught somebody in a lie and you said, "You're lying to me," and they said, "No, you're the liar." What? You know, it's almost like the best offense is, or the best defense is an offense for them or something. Because how can your, I don't know. I don't know how your mind can be so muddled as to believe that birds are not real. So I guess if you can believe birds are not real, you can believe, you know, that the Revolutionary War never happened or the Civil War never happened. I mean, you might as well say the Civil War never happened because more people were killed in the Holocaust than were killed in the Civil War. But the Civil War, that killed tons of people. You might as well say that never happened. All right, I'm going to get mad about this. Number 8. Let's go to number 8. The government is hiding alien bodies in Area 51. There are UFOs, aliens, maybe even Martian autopsies that have been locked away. Okay, I believe that. Yeah. And I'm with the 35% of Americans that think the government knows more than it's saying. Okay? Because the truth is, Area 51 is real, but it's a test site for military aircraft. And, you know, even there's been no confirmed alien life. Still, the government's recent UFO disclosures didn't quiet down that belief. Okay, so I'm curious, in the studio audience, how many of you also believe that one? Everybody. Okay, we are among the 35% that believe the government's hiding something. Of course, that's not a big stretch, is it? To believe the government's hiding? Really? Oh, okay. Number 9, the Titanic never sank. Now, I never heard this one, but the claim is the Titanic was switched with its sister ship, the Olympic, in an insurance scam. And the belief rate of that is 14%, fueled by TikTok and YouTube. The Titanic never sank. It was switched with the Olympic in an insurance scam. So that's fueled by TikTok, YouTube, and bored cruise ship people, I guess. You know, but the truth of this thing is that there are mountains of physical evidence. There's ocean wreckage. They've visited they've visited it. The survivor accounts. Also, if this was an insurance job, it's the worst return on investment in history. Oh my gosh, it never happened. You know, it happened. All you got to do is see the movie. See the movie. You'll know it's happening. There's been 2 movies about it. I didn't actually see the big movie. I didn't see the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Don't look at me like that. No, I didn't see it. I was standing in line to see it. But then somebody in line said, "Oh, they say that the film of the ship sinking is incredible." And I'm like, well, you've just ruined the movie for me. It sinks? Okay, all right. And so I didn't see it. I mean, you know, if you're going to ruin the movie. All right, number 10. Chemtrails are poisoning us. The claim is that jet contrails, that you see, the white lines coming out of the jet, the claim is that these are actually chemicals the government is using to control the population. And the belief rate is an astonishing 14%. What's 14% of 400 million?
56 million.
56 million? Do I have a confirmation on that? The home's gotten too big for you all of a sudden? 56 million? Ladies and gentlemen, 56 million people in America look at the sky every day and see the jet contrails, and they're running for cover. 56 million. Now, the truth is that contrails are just condensed water vapor. It's not mind control gas. I mean, if the government could control people with plain vapor, they wouldn't need the media, would they? And wouldn't they just spray us and let it go at that? By the way, if you got a kind of a gullible friend or got a kid with you, next time you see a contrail up in the sky, say this. Just do this. Go. Gonna rain. And they'll say, what? You go, see the contrails? It's gonna rain. That's how the Indians used to tell it was going to rain. And 90% of them will go, really? Now, a few of them will catch it pretty quick. They'll go, really? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. But there are some people that you can go ahead and say, birds aren't real. I mean, you could probably do that. And then you could follow it up with, did you know that gullible is the only word in the English language that's not in the dictionary? And if they bite that, they're hopeless. So, Angela Knapp says she's more concerned with chemicals in our food. And John Mason Smith says number 8 is true. Which one is number 8? Oh, the aliens. Yeah, John Mason Smith, he's with us. Well, everybody here believes that, John. I mean, what we'd like to find is where are the 65% out there that trust the government. I spoke to Congress one time, a few years ago, and it was at this congressional retreat kind of thing where all the Congress people and their spouses were there. And a news media person had me in the hallway before I went on. And this lady said, Andy, what do you say about the fact that 9% of Americans trust Congress? That 9% trust Congress. I said, I'm actually shocked. She said, aren't you? I said, I am. Because where do you find 9% of the people that trust Congress? And then I went and talked to them. Shanda Danner, you're late again eating chili dogs for your anniversary lunch. 48 years you've been married. Oh, we need to talk to your husband. Chili dogs, best he can do after 48 years. All right, here's your bonus one. We've been through 10, but here is the bonus one. Matt Jakubik joined. What are you doing, Matty? All right, here's the bonus one. Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen. A lot of people, you believe that? No, but you've heard it. You've heard it, yeah. The claim is that Walt Disney is in a secret freezer waiting for future resurrection. And the belief rate on that is 10%. And I can stop that right now. The truth is he was cremated. His ashes are at Forest Lawn. But I know for a fact that Disney was not frozen. And the proof is that if his body had ever been frozen, they'd have built a ride around it by now and charged everybody to see it. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. Okay, here's just a final thought now. Why do people believe this? Why does this kind of stuff persist? I think it's a natural human love for mystery, suspicion, drama, and social media. Kelly Carter says Walt is with Elvis. You're assuming they're in the same place. You know, my wife is an Elvis person. I mean, she's not crazy about it. I mean, she didn't collect, we don't have decanters of Elvis all over our house or, you know, posters in velvet with glitter on it in the foyer or anything. But she really likes Elvis. She and Dan Stone. Dan Stone, former pastor, present great friend. But Dan and Polly really like Elvis. And, you know, if I can ever find, I mean, I know being friends with me is kind of tough. You got to have a thick skin. I mean, if you don't want to be teased, if you don't want to be put on, you don't want to be my friend. But I enjoy jabbing Elvis for Polly. Shanda Danner said, yeah, the hot dogs are a tradition. We ate at Wiener King on our honeymoon because it was from across from the hotel. Okay, your honeymoon, you ate at Wiener King. I just got to say, the comedy things are just overloading in my mind right now. I can't comment on that, but I really want to. I really want to. What was I talking about? I mean, I can't get past Wiener King now. What? Come on. What was I talking about? Oh, Elvis. The king. As far as we know, he wasn't the Wiener King. Maybe that was Wilt Chamberlain. He gets the joke. He gets the joke. Okay, so I love jabbing Elvis to Polly and to Dan. And so what I always tell them, I say, hey, it's a good thing he died. You know? I was actually sitting with Randy Travis, the Oak Ridge Boys, and a couple of other people were there, and Randy had like 3 or 4 hits. I mean, it was obvious he's going straight to the top, but he's still kind of beginning. And Randy was always just like a sweet person, you know, just a great guy. And so we're sitting there, and we're just talking career stuff. And Shanda Danner, you must be an Elvis person. Shanda's going, stop. Or is it about the Wiener King? Okay, all right. Well, either way, I won't stop. So here's Randy, and we're talking kind of business, career move kind of stuff. And Joe Bonzel, who's the tenor of the Oak Ridge Boys, Joe says, you know, Randy, you've got 4 or 5 big hits. They've all gone #1. You are on a rocket ship right now. But there's one thing that you can do. There's one career move that you can make. You'll be famous forever. And Randy said, what's that, Joe? Joe said, die. He said, Randy, if you die right now, you will be Elvis. And that's what that's what I've told Polly. I say, if Elvis hadn't have died, he would just be, he would be in Las Vegas doing Krispy Kreme commercials. You know, he would be Engelbert Humperdinck. And she's like, no, don't you say that. That is wrong, you know. And then what I can do to get her out of the room is I do my Elvis impression, which she hates this. And here it is. Scylla, bring me my jelly donuts, baby, and my pills. I'm in here on the toilet. That drives her out of her mind. Okay, let's get serious now. Oh, Lord, I'm going to be thinking about the Wiener King all day long. You know, have you ever been in a situation where you're in public or talking to a bunch of people and you get this great joke that you know it's going to lay everybody out, but you know you better not tell it? And I mean, I could do it because my wife's not here and I know she's not watching, but it's one of those kind of things that as a guy, if you go ahead and say it, you got to deal with it when you get home too, you know. You shouldn't have said that. I can't believe you said that. You need to think before you talk, you know. I mean, you know. I'm looking at the guys. They all know. They're all nodding. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back there and get my pills and my jelly donuts. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you next week.